afternoon to everyone. One more time, good afternoon. So, very warm welcome to one and all present here. It's my privilege to welcome today's guest speaker, who is an educator, a storyteller, an author, and who has 18 plus years of experience in public speaking. Being a business consultant, he has trained more than 10,000 businessmen and children, students in Australia, India, China, and Indonesia. He had served as a national treasurer of professional speakers in Australia. He has designed unique but simple techniques for anyone to learn the art of public speaking. So we are really fortunate to have him here with us today. And I'm sure we are going to have a very fruitful time here learning the art of public speaking. So with a loud round of applause, let's welcome Mr. Chinmay Ananda.
Thank you. Thank you, Sumi ma'am. Very rarely I get people who introduce me without looking at my bio data. But at least Sumi ma'am has kind of remembered and recalled, and she has introduced without referring to my profile. Thank you so much for that warm introduction. Good evening. Oh, afternoon. At least there is someone who's ready and prepared to correct me. At least someone corrected me here. Last week I was in one school and by mistake in the morning I said good evening and they said, sir, good night, and they sent me off. Good afternoon. Namaskara. All of you had lunch? How many of you had good lunch? Oh, how many of you had great lunch? Oh my God. Because whenever people say I had great lunch, as a speaker, I always get nervous. Exactly. No, what's your name? Bhargavi is saying, because sir, they will fall asleep. Not because you will fall asleep, Bhargavi. I might fall asleep. That's why I'm scared. Now, how many of you come to school regularly every day in a auto rickshaw? Like a school auto. Do you have like auto, school auto? No, gone are those days. School bus? How many of you? Oh, majority of you come in a school bus. So I'm sure it is not just your classmates. You'll also have other students from other standards who will be coming in the same school bus, right? When I was going to school, I didn't go in a school bus. Those days, Bangalore did not have so much of traffic. In one auto rickshaw, pretty much 10-15 of us we used to sit. So auto driver used to drive the auto. There was one person sitting here, one student sitting here, one student here, and behind him on that wooden bench, 5 of them. Behind that, another 5. And behind that seat, like this, another 5 of them used to sit. And of course, we had all kinds of students. We had students in 3rd standard, 5th standard, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th. When I was in 3rd standard, for me, the big challenge was passing 3rd standard examination. But when I came to 4th standard, my big problem was passing 4th standard examination. When I came to 5th standard, he's finding it so funny. Now, obviously, when I was in 6th, 7th, they started teaching us in maths a plus b whole square. So I had to memorize a plus b whole square, a square plus 2ab plus b square. I used to regularly memorize. Are you all right? Looks like you have lost it. 7th standard A section. Okay. Okay. No, because you're finding it so funny, so I'm really interested. What is so funny? Am I looking all right? Anything?
Sir, you're looking all right, sir. Your speaking only is making me funny, sir, in that.
So he's telling the way I'm speaking is making him funny. Ooh. I still haven't started the funny side of it. Already you're laughing. Let's see when I start the funny side of it, how you might react. Anyway, coming back to what I was saying, 6th standard, they started teaching a plus b whole square. And I was in the auto before the test, memorizing a plus b whole square, blah, blah. And I had someone else in the auto who was in 8th standard. He said, Chinmay, for a plus b whole square, you're struggling. I am studying a plus b plus c whole cube. This is nothing. And I was like, no, 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 I think he's acting too smart for me. A plus B whole square. Ooh, so important. How do I remember this? But this was in 6th standard. When I went to 8th standard, A plus B whole square, uh, A plus B plus C whole cube become a big problem. And then when I went to 10th standard, some theorems become a big problem. A plus B plus C whole cube became nothing. The point I'm trying to make here is all we are doing, whether in life or in businesses or in our life, is I am here and I want to go there. As of now, how many of you are from 8th standard? How many of you are in 9th standard? How many of you are in 10th standard? Okay. So I think it's only 8, 9, 10th, right? We don't have anyone from 7th? Oh, how many from 7th? Oh, 7th. Okay, great, great, great. Good to know. So which means all of you who are in 7th, 1 year back you were in 6th. So I'm here in 6th standard. I want to go there to 7th standard. Now you're all in 7th standard. Next year you will say, I'm here in 7th standard. I want to go to 8th standard, and it continues. Yes. And this is what we are doing in life, and it keeps going on. Morning, night, here to there, here to there, here to there. And it goes on. And when we go there, it becomes the new here. Tomorrow, we say there. But when we go to tomorrow, it becomes here. And it continues. Now, what do you think is very common in all of this? The journey. Exactly. Awesome. Your name is? Ayush. So, Ayush is saying, it is a journey, it is not a destination. So, if it is a journey, can we control it? So, which means we have to either grow along with it or we remain same. But usually we don't remain same, we kind of go back. This is where they say, the moment you rest, slowly you will rust. If you keep an iron wherever it is, after a while it slowly starts rusting. But if you keep using the iron, it is part of the journey from here to there, here to there, here to there, here to there. Similarly, all of you, you are in 7th, 8th, 9th and 10th. Next year you will go to the next standard. Next year you will go to another standard. Then you will go to college, and then you will go to probably business school. Then you might go abroad for higher studies. Then you might start your own business. Then you might start working for a multinational company. It goes on. The question is, when you are one fine day, 25, 30, 40 or 40 years old, and then suddenly you realize, oh my God, there were so many skills I could have learned which I did not learn. And imagine on that day when you are 40 years old, you realize, I still don't know how to speak confidently from stage. When someone is going to ask you, hey, Bhargavi, would you like to come here on stage and tell something about this particular thing? At the age of 40, Bhargavi is like, oh, I'm afraid of public speaking. I think he'll be my favorite student. Your name is? Preetham. So I think I'll have to warn Preetham saying, hey Preetham, now I'm telling a joke, be prepared. Because everything is laughing. But good, we need to have people like him. No, they just change the mood of the presentation. Coming back to what I was saying. This is where, the faster you master a particular skill, especially communication, better it is. Most of the time people think communication is something only when you do when you're on stage. But we are communicating every single moment. We start communicating with our parents from the time we get up, or probably they will start, wake up, get up, you have to go to school. You'll communicate with probably your brothers, sisters, neighbors, friends. You come to school, you communicate with your friends, you communicate with your teacher. Even if you're sitting silently, I'm sure you're communicating something with yourself. So it's an ongoing thing. The question is, do you want to master the art of public speaking and communication? And that is exactly what we'll be discussing today. I'm sure all of you may not remember, but usually at the age of 1 or when you were 1.5 years old, you started walking. How I know is, I have a daughter who is 2.5 years old. So I remember last year when she kind of started walking and she got that balance. Do you think babies, when they try to stand up and somehow they're balancing, they will immediately start walking? what will happen? Immediately they will fall down. Do you think parents will say, "Oh, my baby fell down. My baby is a failure in life. I don't think she will never come up in life. I don't think." Do you think when a baby falls, parent will going to react? What will the parent do? They will help. It's all right. It's all right. You're still a baby. It's fine. Get up, it's fine. And they will encourage. Walking is a skill. Hello. Walking is a skill. Dancing is also a skill. Swimming is also a skill. Yes. Now, how many of you have got fear of walking? People are like, what do you mean fear of walking? No. Now, by the way, she is my daughter. Oh, yes. Now, all of you, I asked you this question. How many of you have got fear of walking? Everyone is like, what do you mean fear of walking? We walked here. What do you mean fear of walking? Now, imagine, I will ask you, by tying a tight rope from this building to another building, which is almost 100 feet or more than that, right? So, I have tied a rope between two buildings. Now, I will ask you to walk. How many of you will walk? If you have a parachute, oh. How many of you will walk on a rope tied between two buildings? Some of you are like, okay, at least I'll give it a try, but most of you are saying no. If there is safety, if there is this, if there is that. The point I'm trying to make here is, we have been walking from the age of 1. Walking is a skill. A simple thing like walking, we will not be able to do on a rope. Do you know why? Because someone used the word which I was looking for. Fear kicks in. The moment fear kicks in, even a simple thing like walking, I'm sure if I ask you to run and jog and dance, you will do it here. But if I ask you to do that same skill of walking on a tight rope, you'll be like, oh no. Why? Fear has kicked in. How many of you know swimming? Very good. Now, by the way, that is not my child. Just letting you know. Now, imagine all of you who know how to swim in a swimming pool. If I take you to a deep ocean which is filled with, oh, where did it go? Oops, sorry. If I ask you to swim in a deep ocean surrounded by sharks, how many of you will be ready to swim? Again, most of you who said you can swim, you're saying no because, again, fear kicked in. Now, when people ask you, hey, you know what? Will you come here on stage and speak confidently? Most of them will be like, I've been speaking regularly with my friends, but suddenly on stage, oh. Again. Now, how do you think we can overcome fear? By standing on the stage and speaking. Now, do you think fear is real? No. Do you think fear is real? It is just inside our head. That is what Bhargav is saying. Do you think fear is real? It's just our imagination. Wow, your name is? Hari? Haripreet is saying it is just an imagination. Preetham is saying it's our mindset. It's maybe our thoughts. Now, no baby is kind of born with fear. We are not born with fear, and fear is not a natural thing, but it is there. I repeat, fear is not real, but it is there. It is like a okay. I think he got so fearful that I'm going to call him on stage. So he wanted to go off the stage. Okay, now attention. Fear is like a shadow. lies your greatest life. I repeat, beyond your greatest fear lies your greatest life. Some of you said, yes, I know swimming. First time when you went to the swimming pool, did you immediately jump in the 10 feet and started swimming? You were like, ooh, ooh, and then putting the thing, like, no, 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 all that happened. And reluctantly you got inside the water, ooh, chilly, 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 ooh, all that happened. I'm not sure how you learned swimming, but this is how my father taught me swimming. He took me to a swimming pool. He said, Chinmay, look, 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 and he just threw me there. I'm like, and I'm swimming, swimming, swimming. Somehow I caught hold of that particular wall and grill, and then I climbed up. And before I could know what was happening, again he threw me. Again I'm grasping for breath. I came back, and again he threw me. After 3-4 times, hey, this is kind of fun. And I was like, Appa, throw me. And asking, Appa, throw me. Because once you face your fear, once that fear becomes smaller, once your comfort zone expands, swimming pool was not my comfort zone. After me being thrown in the swimming pool again and again and again, it became a comfort zone. Fear got converted into fun. I started enjoying. And after a while, I didn't even want my father to throw me. I was going and jumping. Same thing with public speaking. If you want to overcome the fear of public speaking, if you want to master public speaking or any skill, public speaking is a skill. If you want to master it, then you have to come here and practice. Many people ask me, Chinmay, how can I overcome fear of public speaking? And let me tell you, these are all people who are in their 30s, 40s, some of them in their 50s. Suddenly now they have realized, yes, I think if I become an effective public speaker, then I can have more influence. He can repeat it twice. If something is repeated again and again, it becomes more memorable to an extent. It becomes sticky. So I want you to introduce, after welcoming everyone, wishing everyone, my name is, you position it in front of you. This is with your name. And usually what is the next thing that you will say about yourself? Hobbies? Or even before that? Profession. So most of the time it is around what is? I am studying in class 7th A. I would suggest you not to mention the section unless and until you are in the school, in the same school. Because what the other person outside the school is more interested is, are you in 7th or 8th or 9th? They're not really interested in the section. So again, how much to say, what not to say. So I can pretty much say, I'm studying in 7th standard. And then someone mentioned, your name is? Pragati. Pragati said, we also talk about our hobbies rather than saying, my hobbies are this. Make it more interesting. Because hobbies is nothing but something interesting, right? When we say, I have these hobbies, it simply means you're interested in those hobbies. Rather than saying, my hobbies are, how about you say, I enjoy collecting stamps. I enjoy playing cricket. I enjoy singing. I enjoy this. I enjoy that. I want you to write 5 things that you enjoy doing. Can some of you just share so that it might trigger something in other person's mind? Pritham? You enjoy laughing? Yes?
I enjoy laughing and enjoy doing cricket and
Enjoy playing cricket and
swimming.
swimming. Okay.
So is it okay for us to
Sit.
in classes like assembly and all, is it okay for us to tell section like
Inside the school, yes, it's okay to mention your section. Outside the school, ideally, I mean, you can mention, but usually the other person may not be really interested in the section.
But we wouldn't know how much they're interested in.
Interested in the sense?
Like how much they're interested in, like to know about the section and this.
See, more and more you communicate, you will get to know and you'll have an understanding. It's like I'm sure all of you, when you are walking home or somewhere in the street, there will be street dogs. By looking at the street dog itself, many of you will know, oh, probably this is a dangerous street dog. And some street dogs you will say, hey, Papa Dido. And some of you might even take stone and you will, hey, oh, hey. But will you do it with an aggressive street dog? Now, how did you come to know? Because you have seen so many street dogs in your life, you have got an understanding. So, same thing when it comes to interest. The more and more you interact, you will get to know. Someone had a question here? Huh. What are some of the things that you enjoy doing?
I enjoy seeing movies.
Movies, okay.
Then I enjoy painting.
Enjoy painting.
Then I enjoy fighting.
And fighting? With whom?
With my friends.
With your friends. Okay.
Then I enjoy playing cricket.
You enjoy playing hand cricket. Oh, awesome. Okay. Huh. One more?
I enjoy reading books, listening to music, learning new things, meeting people, and observing.
Okay, great. So all of you, I'm sure you got a hang of it. Okay, one more.
Enjoy dancing, drawing, listening to music, and reading music.
Okay, awesome. So I'm sure all of you have got 3, if not 5, at least 3 things that you can talk about. These are the things that I enjoy. Yes? This is what we are going to practice. These 4 sentences. I want you to be prepared with the content. Because to give an impactful, memorable talk, first you need to know what you're going to talk. So content is something you need to be clear with, and let us keep it very simple. The reason I'm asking you to write down is because when you're on stage, I don't want you to carry that book. May I? Because many of them, this is what they do. They are asked to come on stage, introduce yourself. My name is Chinmay Ananda. I am from 8th standard. I enjoy doing. You know what is this called? This is called chicken drinking water style. One thing is, because of Preetham, I know one thing is for sure, everyone will be awake the whole afternoon. Even if someone is laughing, suddenly, why is everyone laughing? Someone, if sleeping also, they'll get up. Okay, coming back to what I was saying. What we are doing now is we want to practice public speaking. So when we are practicing public speaking, let us make sure the content is going to be simple. Don't overcomplicate it. It's like when you started swimming, it was only the freestyle they were teaching us, right? They didn't teach us immediately the first day itself, backstroke, the breaststroke, and all that, nothing. So keep the content simple and let us stick with only 4 lines. And this is what I want you to do. I want you to come here and introduce by mentioning these 4 statements. Now I understand I can't get all 90 of you to come here on stage and practice. Yes? Like?
I'm Akhilesh Manjunath, and I'm studying 7th grade.
Huh.
And
Yes, yes.
then how can we go to sit and introduce?
Yes, I'll call you on stage. Wait. Any questions? Any questions? So what we will do is I'll ask 1 or 2 of you to come here and practice it, and I will tell you what exactly you should be doing, what you should not be doing. I want all of you to observe. Then we will break into 3 groups. All right, we'll break into 3 groups. We have Sapna ma'am who will be in this auditorium. So nearly 32 students will be here. We will have Sumi ma'am who will be in room 2. And we will have Srijit sir who will be taking you behind this auditorium in a classroom, and you will practice what we have learned here. Okay. So I want 1 girl student and 1 boy student to come. Okay, you were the first. So again, all of you will get an opportunity. First, your name is? Krishant. Krishang. Okay. Krishang, please, huge round of applause to Krishang. Okay. Now I'll come back to you. Please wait. Let me ask you this question. When do you think the impact of a speech or a talk starts? Is it when we tell the first word or even before that? even before that, which means body language, the way we are going to walk on stage. So we will practice this on stage. Okay, Krishang? So Krishang, I want you to stand here. So I'm sure someone will be inviting you on stage most of the time. So let us see when I invite Krishang how he walks on stage and how he introduces. And I will be personally telling him, no, these are certain things he has to change. And I want you to remember this when you are going to introduce yourself. Ready? Okay, ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together to welcome the first speaker of this afternoon, Krishang.
Hello everyone. I am Krishank Didich. I study in 8th grade. And I enjoy many hobbies such as playing cricket, swimming, basketball, etc.
So what do you think some of the things Krishang did well? Introducing his name, his body language. Okay. Now there is a way you can practice on how you enter the stage. Most of the time, and this is something I want you to practice at home. Imagine you stand against a wall. Keep your back straight. Most of the time what happens is, knowingly or unknowingly, we are walking like this. He did not walk, but I'm saying. Or sometimes we are looking here, there, we are walking, and we are only looking somewhere, as if we are kind of lost. The way we walk on stage tells a lot about the person. And this is what I want you to practice. Stand straight, not too straight and stiff like this. Comfortable, straight. Imagine someone has tied a rope around your waist and someone is pulling it. So you walk like that. That is something you need to practice. And you have to practice so many times, it becomes so natural. Someone is pulling like this and you walk. When you have got audience here and you're walking on stage, ideally what you should do is upper body, when you're walking, it should be 45 degrees. So it's like 45 degrees, I'm looking at the audience. So these are all subtle things. From here, you're walking on stage and you look at the person who's introduced and you wave at someone, whatever, and you come and you stand. Now imagine Krishang standing here and introducing. Imagine he standing here and introducing, and imagine he standing here and introducing. Which one do you think will be more effective? There is something called as power position. Power position. The reason it is called power position is simply because it is from this position you have the power to control your audience. And it will be usually center of the stage. If this stage was not there, where do you think I stood and started my talk today? Center. Because when I am there, that is the power position. So this is where you need to figure out, even before you go on stage, where is that power position? And from this position, ideally, you should start to introduce you should start your talk. The next thing is, imagine me standing here and saying, hello everyone, my name is Chinmay. Hello everyone, my name is Chinmay. Which is more effective? So the moment you're in power position, your body language has to change. This becomes very casual. Unknowingly, many times we do this. And unknowingly, we are somewhere standing like this or this. So consciously, you have to make an effort to come on stage and take this power position. Now, some of you, by default, you feel that while I'm talking, suddenly I do this. If you're doing this, all I would suggest you to do is slightly spread your leg, because this is not your natural position. Krishan, can you do this for me, please? Now try to stand in one leg.
No, you can't.
So this way you can make sure you are standing firmly on both your feet. Now, let's keep the mic away, because I want you to use your body language. So this is what I want all of you to practice. Walk on stage. girl on this side needs to be covered. If I just do hello everyone, someday they will welcome. If you have got 1,000 people in the audience, then your body language has to go up. Hello everyone. Huge stadium. Hello everyone. You can see politicians doing this. Here, hello everyone. So let's try that. Now, cooperation.
Hello everyone.
Like the way you did. Just below your chest.
Hello everyone.
Good. Continue. My name is. Yes. You bring it here.
Hello everyone. My name is Krishna.
I want you to give your name. My name is Krishna. Do that.
My name is Krishna.
Hello everyone. My name is Krishna. I want you to do this.
Hello everyone. My name is Krishna. Hello everyone. My name is Krishna.
Good. Next.
I study in 8th.
Okay. Now, another critical thing. You're all sitting in the audience and you're looking at the stage, right? So this is how you're looking at it. This is what you're saying. Imagine there is a timeline in front of you. There is a timeline in front of you. Every timeline will have a past, it will have a present, it will have a future. Yes? Yes? In front of this timeline, where is your past? Is it on your left or is it on your right? Usually everyone will say your past is towards your left, future is right. But when you come on stage, your audience's past becomes your future, your audience's future becomes your past. Power position. Imagine a timeline. If you want to mention anything from the past, you have to put it here. Last week, 2 years back, when I was in primary school, you position all those past stories this side. As of today, this is the present. Anything you want to mention about this? Present, put it here. Now, a simple thing like telling our name, what is that we really enjoy doing and which class we are from, suddenly we fumbled, right? That is what fear is going to do to us. And imagine all the things that you would have learned one day, and you might be a master at something, but if you are not effectively communicating, how do you think the impact is going to be? That's why I'm suggesting you to keep the content as simple as possible and then practice so that the words, the gesture, the body language, everything kind of aligns. Now, one of the teachers, she was saying, Chinmay, grammatically, they should not be saying myself, Chinmay. Yes, there are many things that we need to work on, and this is where I would suggest you to take suggestions from your teachers with regards to what are the words, the part of speech that you should be accordingly using, so that you can go about polishing it further. Now, this is what we did. Oops. I would like you to take a new page. Oh, this is your book, okay. I would like you to write at least 10 things I am very lucky to have. It can be any 10 things that you feel that you're very lucky to have. You can start by saying, I'm really lucky to have this healthy body. I'm really lucky to have my parents. I'm really lucky to have the brothers or sisters. I'm really lucky to have, if at all you have a pet, a dog or a cat which unconditionally loves me. I'm very lucky to have friends. I'm very lucky to have teachers in Chitrakoota School. I don't know, I'll leave it to you. Write 10 things that you genuinely feel you're really lucky to have. 10 things I am very lucky to have. It can be as simple as I'm really lucky to have a cricket bat. Yes, I'm really lucky to have a laptop. I got my first laptop only after I graduated as an engineer. Write it. Shh, shh, shh. Write it down. Write. 10 things. Huh. I'm really lucky to have this sweater. Keep it as simple as that. Do you know how many people don't even have a warm cloth? Do you know how many people are sleeping on streets? They don't even have a blanket on them. They don't even have a shirt on them. We have sweater and we can control AC, fan, that, this. I'm really lucky to have a roof over my head. I'm really lucky to have food. So many things we take for granted. So write 10 things that you genuinely feel you're really lucky to have. Words in your vocabulary and tell many other things. The solid foundation has to be set. As I said, I'm not interested in what you say, I'm more interested in how you say it. So slowly we're getting used to it. We're doing certain things, you're getting used to the words and the body language. We'll keep adding more and more to what we are supposed to present on stage. Are you all done? All of you have got 10 things? Yes, yes. Because I've got a couple of homework for you. Oh, another homework. Oh, Preetham is like, thank you, sir. Homework for Preetham is laugh for 1 hour before going to bed. So this is what I want you to remember. The foundations of public speaking on which you should be able to craft your particular speech. All of you, I'm sure you kind of practice to an extent how to walk on stage and how to take this power position. Body language. Body language is a language. I repeat, body language is a language. So is English. I can only use those words in English that are in my vocabulary. Can I use any other word that is not in my vocabulary? So same thing, body language is a language. Gestures are like words. How many gestures have you got in that vocabulary of body language? Many of them, they just have one way. They'll just be doing this. My name is, I am from. Constantly they'll be doing this. Or some of them will be like this and they'll be used to, because that is the only body language, the gesture that they're so used to. But what I'm asking you to practice is, hey, this, and we'll add more to it. So these are the foundations. Next we have stagecraft, which I kind of touched upon. This is the stage. How do you want to craft your message on this particular stage? Past is there, present is here, future is here. You can put your name here. You can mention 3 things here. You can mention something from the future here. If you're telling a story, you can bring in characters. Once there was this friend of mine, and then, so you can position this friend of yours over there. This is called stagecraft. How effectively you want to use this particular stage. And if you want to tell a story which has kind of a negative energy or emotion, but you still want to bring it, then probably you should slightly move away, put that character, that story over here. That's called stagecraft. Then we have voice modulation. How many of you play some kind of a musical instrument? Quite a few of you. Can you name some of the instruments you play? Guitar, piano, keyboard, okay. So imagine tabla, okay. Violin, awesome. Harmonium, now, whether you're playing piano or harmonium or guitar, imagine you go on playing only one chord, only one string in the same frequency. Preetham, are you ready to laugh? Imagine you're playing ting, 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 bing, 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 ting, 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 bing. Same tune. Do you think it will be melodious? Do you think the people are going to enjoy? Shh. Similarly, very similarly in public speaking, this is your instrument. How do you want to express your voice? Do you want to express your voice in one tone, one frequency all the time? Or do you want to play around with different voice modulation? Because effective speakers, they know what kind of tone they should be using. When I was sharing that story of that orphanage, I mellowed down my tone. I changed it. I was giving pauses. Do you think it was slightly more impactful? That's voice modulation. Content, obviously, this is something that you have to come up with. And ideally, if you can come up with a content that is relevant to you, something that happened in your life, then it will have more impact because you are talking that something that happened in your life. Then we have something called as visual aids. You might have your PowerPoint, you might have your board. If at all I want you to look at the PowerPoint, I always make sure I move away and I show it. When I want to be in the center, I take the power position. And if I'm going to stand here for a long time, I made sure I covered it. Because I want to make sure I hold the attention and I'm not sharing something and reading from the slide. Some of you said, no, you're all musicians, you play some musical instrument. I'm sure you might have a team. Imagine someone is playing drums, someone is playing guitar, someone is singing, someone is playing tabla, someone is playing harmonium. And suddenly the one who is playing drums, he goes on hitting it really hard, or the mic is not adjusted, and then there is so much of noise coming only from the drums. It might be an amazing song that they might be playing. Will it be melodious? Same thing. When you do too much of body language, or when you're talking so loud every single sentence, when you're giving importance to only one of it, it will not have an impact. You should know what to say, what not to say, how not to say, how much to say, so on and so forth, to make that impactful, memorable speech. And this is what I want you to practice at home. We have already practiced the first 4 things. I'm adding one more, and that is I want you to mention, I am very lucky to have, out of the 10, pick 3. Out of the 10, I want you to pick 3 of them. So far, you have practiced by welcoming everyone with open arm gestures. You have practiced positioning your name. You have practiced telling which standard you're studying in. And you've also practiced putting those 3 things that you enjoy doing. So your right to left will be audience's left to right. So 4 things we have already practiced and we have discussed. 5th thing, which is about mentioning 5 things, I'm mentioning 3 things that you're really lucky about. Where do you want to put those 3 things? Which is the other side?
This side. We are putting the enjoy, what I enjoy this side, so we put the very lucky.
Because you've already put 3 things here, you can say, I'm really lucky that I have this wonderful healthy body. I'm really lucky that I have a dog that gives me unconditional love. I'm really lucky that I've got a roof over my head. So you can mention 3 things here.
What if we got like 6 things to say?
So good question. What if I've got 6 things to say and I'm already holding a mic? So should I be doing like this? So ideally you can go, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then again you can start 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So you can kind of do this.
So you said that when you were doing presentation, you make sure that it's actual attention. But then when you played that walking video, everyone's attention was on that. How to make sure that attention?
Okay. So good question. She said, ideally, when you're speaking, you said you should be having all the attention, but when you played that video, there was that GIF image of my daughter falling and everyone laughed. Do you remember what I said at that moment? I related to it and I said, that's my daughter. And most of you said, oh. I connected it and then I started. Then there was another image. Then I said, hey, that's not my son. Everyone laughed. Again, I related to it. So don't bring something abruptly over there. It has to be that smooth transition. Ideally, I don't really know. This is not very comfortable for me, even though I would like to be on stage, but I feel the impact will be more when I'm here. Ideally, I would like to have the projector somewhere over there and it's connected, so it is not in between. And I would love to have, it doesn't work, where I can click and it becomes blank. This is where you should not be putting too much of content on the slides. Have you seen more than, I don't know, like 20 words on any of those slides? It's only limited, because if I put more content, everyone will start reading it and they'll not focus on me. Yes, there will be times when they will be looking at that. Ideally, what you should do is show them, give a pause, let them look at it. If you're playing a video, let them look at it and tell that, okay, back to what I was saying, and you continue. You take that control and ideally start from the power position. Yes.
These 5 things, like we can't apply it when we are on the stage in our school. Like I'm very lucky to have. So what do we do now? Where do we apply?
Okay. We can go to level 2 only by reaching level 1. So as of now, we are understanding the foundations and basics so that you are comfortable, so very comfortable, at least with the content. How many of you, when you go on stage, you will forget your name? Even if you forget your name, you can like, oh, I think I can remember. You'll not be asking someone, what's my name? So, what we are doing here is, we are trying to practice something that you're very comfortable with, that is your content. You know. I'm not saying you should be saying these 3 things that you enjoy. I'm not saying these are the 3 things that you should say you're lucky. Because I want you to remember, and I want you to speak without looking at notes to begin with. So you get used to the body language. Then we'll go one level up. Yes. So he's asking a question while doing anchoring. Is it behind the podium? Okay. So usually I understand. I don't really like podiums. The reason being, if you're standing behind the podium, nearly 50% of your body is not visible. So again, that impact will be very less. And many of them, they really love podium because they can hide behind it. Imagine me standing here, and this is something that people do. Some of them will be really tall, mic will be here, and they'll be doing, good morning everyone. Or some of them will be doing this, good morning everyone. Make the mic adjusted in such a way that it is there to serve you, not the other way around. It doesn't matter even if you take 5 seconds. Position it in such a way you are comfortable. If not, ask someone, TV, AV person to fix this and then start. Me standing like this, how do you think it comes across? Or me standing like this? Me standing like this? Or me reading like this? What I really liked when I was introduced by Sumi ma'am is she didn't even refer to my biodata. She had already remembered and she was looking at you. The moment I look at my notes for a very long time, I'm losing eye contact. So to answer your question, yes, when you are doing anchoring, still past will be here, present will be here, future will be here. And many a times I slightly do this. I stand here. I'm addressing them. Again, you need to make sure you keep that eye contact. You can be an effective MC or an anchor right behind the podium, because I've done it. It is possible. For that, again, you need to make sure what are those things you're going to say that is going to have an impact. Coming back to what I was saying, this will be your homework. I want you to practice, and tomorrow we'll have a competition. So we'll be selecting 1 or 2 of you, or no, we'll go with 3. 3 from each group. So 9 of you will be coming here on stage, and you will be competing on how to introduce yourself and telling all these 5 things. Probably I will leave it to Sumi ma'am, Sapna ma'am, and Srijit sir to be the judges so that they will take care of it. I don't have to really figure out who gave that impactful speech. Now, another homework. Now, some of you are asking, introducing myself, I don't do it in school. I probably want to speak something else, and I would like you to prepare a 30-second talk on the best personal advice I got. Write it down, that's your homework. The best personal advice that I got. And it has to be 30 seconds. If a talk has to be 30 seconds, how many sentences do you think it can have? 30 seconds. Obviously, it depends on the length of the sentence, the number of words in each sentence. Usually, it is anywhere between 8 to 10. Average, you can say 8. If it is kind of longer sentences, then 6. So, let me give you an example of how this particular talk should be. When I was in 5th standard, I had failed in an exam. I was scared, I was sad, and I was afraid what my parents will tell. So I decided to lie. I lied to my parents that I had passed, but eventually after 3 days they got to know I had lied. That is when my mother said, Chinmay, a lie can take care of today, but it will not take care of tomorrow. A lie can take care of today, but it will never take care of tomorrow. And that is the best personal advice that I got. Ting, 30 seconds done. Now let me tell you the pattern behind it. I would like you to make a note of this. This is what I want you to be prepared with. 30 seconds talk on best personal advice. Every talk will have a beginning, a middle, and an end. I want you to start with the beginning. How did I start? What did I say in this particular talk? Did I say hello everyone, good morning, good afternoon? Did I say I'm going to tell you one of the best personal advice that I got? Immediately I started with the incident. And it was an incident that happened when I was in 5th standard, I failed in maths. I failed in this particular subject. So now you're pointing out something that happened in your past. So first thing is, you're going to create the scene. When I was in 5th standard, I failed in this particular subject. So when you fail in something, when things doesn't go according to plan, usually we will have a feeling. That feeling will be kind of with low energy. And what are the 3 things that I said? I was feeling sad. I was afraid what my parents are going to say. 3 things. 1, 2, 3. It's in the past. When I was in 5th standard, I failed in an exam and I was afraid. I was ashamed. I was so scared. Low energy. Now imagine me saying, when I was in 5th standard, I failed in an exam. I was so afraid. Tone of the voice. How you want to set it up? Any questions, any doubt so far? Good to continue? No? Yes. Haripreet. Haripreet is asking, why didn't I introduce myself? Please sit down. We are all living in a world where the attention span of the people is very less. Moving forward, it will be even less. There was a time when I was watching cricket match and I was just watching cricket match. Today, after each ball, immediately I have this habit of checking something on my phone if I get a notification. Which means there is so much of distraction. Now, more than 100 students are in the audience. Do you think all 100 of them are focusing here? No. If I want their attention at the very beginning, then I shouldn't start something that they will be expecting me to say. How did I start today's talk? Yeah, after thanking Sumi ma'am, what did I say? I said good evening. People are like, evening, but this is afternoon. What I was doing is I was disturbing your thoughts that are running in your head. Imagine we're all sitting here, suddenly there's a loud noise behind the stage. What will happen? Some of you will be like, even I'll be looking back. That is exactly what you need to do as a speaker when you start. You need to grab that attention. If I come and say, good morning everyone, my name is Chinmay, I will tell you the best personal advice that happened in my life and this incident happened. Ugh. How can you grab the attention of the audience in the first few seconds? And if you look at any advertisement, they're really good at it. And this is a marketing message that they use. I was feeling low. I was feeling that pain, a feeling that I really don't enjoy. Now, what is that I need to do? I was here, I went there. That is the theme, that is the pattern. So for those of you who ask, the introduction, no, I will not be doing it in school. Why should I talk about all the lucky things in my life? Practicing so that you get used to this pattern. So begin immediately by jumping into that particular topic. When I was, you can also say, when I was 10 years old, when I was 6 years old, this happened. I had this incident that happened. And I was feeling 3 things. Imagine me just saying, I was feeling really sad. But if I say 3 things, I was really sad, I was ashamed, I was really afraid, you're kind of bumping it up and making it more impactful. Then we have the middle, where I want like you to mention what happened in 2 to 3 sentences. What I mentioned was, I decided to lie and I told my parents that I passed. But after 3 days, they got to know that I had lied to them. 3 sentences, that's it. That's the middle. This way, you don't go on repeating so many things that are not at all relevant. Many people just go round and round. Have you had conversation with some people? They're just talking and talking and talking and you're like, what's the point? What are you trying to say? There is a saying, less is more. Less is more, which means if less is more, what do you think more is going to be? More will be even more. Or not even relevant. It will not be impactful. Yeah, that's even an appropriate word. More will be even boring. All these advertisements, it will be just for 10-15 seconds. And they have to make that impact. More or less, they use the same pattern. There is a beginning where they want to capture the attention of the audience. Someone is feeling low. They want you to feel the same thing. Do you know what usually people ask in an interview? Usually the first question they will ask is, tell me something about yourself. Why do you want this job? Why should we hire you? Now, again, I am not expecting all of you to have gone through some kind of an interview process, but usually in an interview process, even before they call someone for an interview, a resume will be sent. If the resume is sent and if all the content is right in front of them, why are they still asking to introduce you? Why are they asking you to introduce about you? They are not interested in what you know. They are interested in how you're going to put it across. Probably when you have your first round of interview, you might be 20, 21, 22, 25. 25 years you have been living your life and they're asking you to introduce you. You might want to say so much. But do you think they have the time or interest? So can you tell those 3 things? You can tell them, you know what? My resume is in front of you, but still let me tell you 3 interesting things about me. 1, Or probably I'll just say two. One, small interesting fact. Two, now do I have time to tell one more? Do you think they'll be more curious? When they say, why should we hire you? If you say, oh, I'm really honest, I've got a lot of time sense, I got first rank in this, I've got this. They're like, I've already seen that. But why should I hire you? And if you can tell them, you know what? 2 years back during COVID, I went through this. I was feeling low. I thought of doing all of this. Then I decided, you know what? It's my life. I am the creator of my own destiny. I decided to educate myself more. I did this. And this is where I am. So I am one of those people who will never give up. And I will face challenges with a positive attitude. Don't you think now they will take us seriously? What do you think the pattern was? Same thing, 30 seconds personal advice. I was feeling this. I went through this. From here, I came to there. And this is here. All I'm asking you to follow the process as of now, on which you can put different content accordingly. Any questions? Because I believe it's 4 o'clock. Oh, it's 4:02. What time are we supposed to do? Hard stop 4? Okay. So I'm so sorry I'll not be able to take any more questions, but I'll be happy to stay here. If you have got any questions, I can answer after the class, because I believe some of your parents might be waiting for you. So I don't want them to wait, trying to figure out what's happening with my daughter or son. Homework number 1, introducing yourself, those 5 things. You're welcome. You position your name, your standard, 3 things that you enjoy doing, and 3 things that you are grateful or lucky for. That's homework number 1. Homework number 2 is the best personal advice. 30 seconds. What happened in 2-3 sentences? And after that, how were you feeling and what happened? And finally, what is that personal advice? Okay, on that note, did you all enjoy today's session? Yes, sir! Thank you so much and have a wonderful evening.
Of grade 7. I would like to share my experience of expert workshop conducted by Chinmay Ananda sir on public speaking. He focused on the way we have to present ourselves on the stage. He gave us some lines to practice and perform on the stage. This way, it helped us to improve our body language, voice modulation, and confidence. Thank you, sir, for training us.
Hello everyone, I am Tanushree M from class 8th. Well, you all might be wondering where I learned these hand gestures from. It was a tip that was given to us in the public speaking workshop conducted by Chinmay Ananda sir. Here, we learned that to give an impactful speech, there are 2 main ingredients, that is 40% of content and 60% of body language with confidence. This workshop helped me to improve my speaking skills. I would like to extend my gratitude towards my school for hosting this workshop and also towards Mr. Chinmay Ananda sir for conducting a wonderful session. Thank you.
Speeches can never be good or bad. It can be impactful or not impactful. This is an important learning I got from the expert workshop by Chinmay Ananda on public speaking. It was really helpful to me. Earlier, I had stage fear, but this workshop helped me to look at public speaking in a different manner. From this workshop, I learned how to present myself on stage and how important it is to work on my body language to be a good public speaker. I enjoyed the practice session where each one of us got the opportunity to speak and improve. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Sankeet of grade 7 to share my experience on the workshop conducted by Chinmay Ananda sir. I had a wonderful experience. I learned how to introduce myself when I entered the stage and how to overcome my fear. I learned many things like foundation of public speaking, like body language, etc. And I had a good experience. I learned many things. Thank you.
Hello everyone. You must be wondering why I'm standing here right in front of you.
I am Ditya S from class 8, here to share my experience of the public speaking workshop. It was a wonderful session conducted by the Chinmay Ananda sir. My friends and I got an opportunity to overcome fear and to boost our confidence by giving an impactful speech. We were involved in various activities like giving an introducing ourselves to audience with the correct voice modulation and body language. I would like to thank the school authorities for providing us such an impactful and wonderful session.
Hello everyone. My name is Sudhir S. Madhyastha. I study in class 8. And today I'm going to be talking about the experience which I had in the workshop of public speaking conducted by Mr. Chinmay Ananda. This workshop helped all of us by giving us sufficient knowledge on public speaking, and this workshop helped us improve our confidence. In this workshop, we learned many tips and tricks, such as how to maintain a proper body posture while walking onto the stage, and the power position which is the center of the stage, and the way we have to hold our hand. I would like to thank Mr. Chinmay Ananda sir for helping us. The way I'm speaking right now was also inculcated from the workshop. Thank you.
Hello everyone, I'm Ruchi from grade 7 and I'm here to share my experience about the public speaking workshop conducted by Chinmay Ananda sir. I learned a lot of things from the workshop. It was an amazing workshop. I would like to share a few points about it. Number 1, if there's an opportunity to go on stage, don't take it, grab it. Number 2, always prepare and practice. Number 3, when you walk on stage, your back should be straight and walk to the center of the stage. That's when the audience will pay more attention to you. And lastly, you have to use body language, voice modulation, and stagecraft to make your speech more impactful and memorable. Thank you.
As Chitrakootans, we are privileged to attend expert workshop. The recent workshop was conducted by Mr. Chinmay Ananda on the topic public speaking. Although I was an orator earlier, I see myself far ahead from where I was. I also learned something to do with stagecraft. You can observe that I'm using hand gestures to show the timeline. It is also a part of stagecraft. I also realized that content delivery has to be in a specific pattern for it to be effective. Looking forward for more such informative workshops. Thank you.